I am back. I am going. We also have the Tyranny of King Washington DLC. It comes with the game. We'll just start.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up. Or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plan. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call Pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching. Bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the Pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the Apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
Oh. I just never noticed that Desmond had tattoos until like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
We're here. Let's go.
I'm so excited to see what this one brings.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
I think we're here.
I like how everyone's carrying a box but Desmond. Whee! Oh, that's awesome.
The key. You must find the key.
Son? Sir.
Here we go again.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
So who do we get to
Desmond.
play?
While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there. Okay, Desmond, let's practice climbing on these objects. Run your way through this little obstacle course.
Ooh. Whee!
That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate. All right, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
It's just full. Because I want to do another air assassination.
All you have to do here is jump the gap.
Oh. I have to go there. Okay. Well, that was a glitch. Ooh. Ooh.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Who are you?
Sir? Sir? Everything all right, sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
You're a pirate.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to kindly find your seats.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
apologies.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
Was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business then. Do you see him?
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
I already have.
Both against roads and for them. For 'tis but fitting that we should protect and encourage cheats, since we live by 'em.
Sir, Black Mall had sent word of trial comes on in the afternoon.
1,000 pardons. My apologies.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy her that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gay, sir, is found guilty.
A lazy dog. When I took him the time before, I told him what would come to if he did not mend his hand. This is death without reprieve. I may mention a book. Poor Tom Gag. £40. Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation, so I can get more by her staying in.
Betty hath brought more goods into our locked year than any five of the gang. And in truth, it is a pity to lose so good a customer.
If none of the gang take her off, she may, in the common course of business, live her 12 months longer. I love to let women escape. A good sportsman always lets the end partridges fly, because the breed of the game depends on it. Besides,
I am so happy to be finally playing this game.
there's nothing to be got by the death of women, except our wives.
Without dispute, she is a fine woman. 'Twas to her I was obliged to my education. And to say a bold word, she hath
pushing people about.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that will be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them. They are still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen.
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within this region.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
My apologies. Were that I could be more accurate.
That's all right. It suffices for a start. And that is why we've called you here, Master Kenway. We'd like for you to travel to America, locate the storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you will want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We've booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn. Go forth, Haytham, and bring honor to us all.
So I'm guessing Haytham is an assassin? I'm guessing. I'm not... I don't know if he's an assassin or a Templar.
Some fresh air might do me good.
What?
And then all will be well.
You sure about that?
Of course. Have I ever led you astray?
Nah. Though you don't sit right with the others.
Have faith, my friend. You'll see.
Well, well. Seems our esteemed guest has deigned to grace us with his presence. You might want to head back to your quarters. Top deck's no place for tender Parnell.
So I thought. And yet here you are.
Fancy yourself a joker, eh? Let's see how funny you find this.
That's enough.
Bring it.
Stay out of this.
I have some anger.
Listen to this, Hector. Thinks he can swagger on up here and declare himself king of the castle.
Please, fellas, call this off. If the captain
To
sees
hell
us...
with the captain. And to hell with you, Mills. Whose side you on, anyway?
There.
I'm ready to go again if you are.
This is unwise.
Why's that? You think I'm afraid of you?
No. But you should be. Do you yield?
Never! How do you like these odds?
What's the meaning of this?
Captain,
Explain yourself at once, Mr. Kenway.
these thought we were simply passing the time with a bit of sport, Captain.
How about you pass the time by doing your goddamn jobs instead? I wasn't aware I was paying you to loll about. A word, please, Mr. Kenway.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's your knife back.
I don't care for you, Mr. Kenway. I've had nothing but trouble since you came aboard.
Your problems have nothing to do with me.
I beg your pardon?
You're a poor leader, ill-tempered and cruel, and it's clear your crew has no respect for you.
Look, I don't want to argue. In fact, I need a favor.
Oh, this is rich.
I suspect some of the men intend to mutiny.
Really? What a surprise.
As I cannot trust any of them, I am compelled to turn to you.
And why should I help you?
Because if they do intend to betray, I'm the only hope you have of reaching America alive. Well, what will it be?
If what you say is true, what other choice do I have?
Think.
But let me be clear. Should you ever dare to insult or threaten me again, I'll not hesitate but to cut off your head myself. Are we understood? Excellent.
Good day.
Good day.
Mr. Kenway.
Captain?
Whatever they're up to, I believe it's coming to a head.
I'd best get to work.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right that you should feast on lamb and wine.
Won't hardly take his hat off.
Quiet! Here he comes. Make like you're working.
You there! I have some questions for you.
That's nice, but I ain't got time to gossip. Probably wouldn't have anything useful to share anyway. You want information? Try the cook or the doctor. Everyone's always chatting them up.
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Have you taken ill?
Oh, nothing like that. I was wondering if you'd heard any rumblings of trouble aboard.
What sort of trouble?
Unusual complaints or grievances? Men taking issue with the captain or
You
the
sound
passengers?
just like James. Like I told him, I've been much too busy with my research to notice anything not work-related.
And where might I find James?
The galley's your best bet. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Make sure tomorrow, if you're in Australia, mainly Victoria, You keep your fluids up.
Are you James?
Aye.
Haytham Kenway. Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are.
I was hoping you could answer some questions.
I figured as much, but not here. Follow me. So, what do you want to know?
Have you seen or heard anything out of the ordinary since we left port? Anything that gives cause for concern?
Some of the men have been gathering at night on the upper deck. I've only caught bits of their conversations, so I couldn't say for certain what they're up to. But I suspect it bodes ill.
Is it a mutiny they're planning?
All I know is they've little love for the captain. Mills has been trying to talk him down, but there's only so much one man can do.
Thank you for the information.
I only wish to see us reach the colonies alive.
So, my friend just informed me, because I'm a massive book nerd, that, Bride, if you guys have read it, I know I shouldn't be talking about books while playing Assassin's Creed 3, but, Bride is getting a second book that is going to be released in October. Yes, I know, very far away, but I don't care, because as soon as I can, I am going to be pre-ordering that shit and getting it, because I absolutely loved Bride. So, yeah, that's the only book announcement I wanted to make. Back to the game.
Evening, sir.
How are things?
Calm and quiet. Just the way I like it. What brings you topside?
Thought I'd wander a bit. Stretch my legs. That's all.
Take care where you tread. The deck hides all manner of danger in the dark.
What was that? Someone's throwing cargo overboard. But why?
Maybe to alert an enemy ship? Oop. That's legit the only reason I can think.
Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right.
Oh, throwing cargo overboard?
Stuck with tinned fish and biscuits.
Curious. Most curious.
Any news?
Each night it's the same. I scout one area, and they drop the painted barrels from another. I'm going to need to recruit an extra pair of eyes. Maybe James or Mills.
Why are they doing this?
Near as I can tell, the barrels serve as markers. They're leaving a trail. My fear is it's only a matter of time before whoever's following it...
Ship sighted aft! She's making ready to fire!
Beat to quarters, men! Ready them! Brace! Everybody down! A warning shot! Seems they don't mean to sink us, but board us instead! Man the cannons! Make ready to fight! I want you below decks!
Why? Let me help you secure the ship.
Do you know how to rig a sail? To load a cannon? To wage war at sea? I didn't think so. Now return to your cabin. Or do I need to have you escorted?
He does know how to do all that, you just didn't give him a chance to answer.
Secure the hatch!
Haytham.
Have you been topside? A ship's appeared and means to board us. It's strange. There's no sign of mutiny aboard. Doesn't make sense.
Ah, but it does.
What do you mean?
Did you think you could escape from London so easily after what you did at the Opera? That we wouldn't notice? That we wouldn't follow?
Ah. So that's what this is about.
Surrender, and I will see that you are treated with honor.
If you wish to treat me with honor, give me a sword.
Are you sure this is how you want to play it?
Fucking love sword fights in Assassin's Creed games. I like how he has his hand behind his back. Come on. All this tough talk. That was a weird position to fall.
I told you to stay below decks.
I did as you asked. Only Mills was there waiting for me. He's the one that drew that ship here. There was no mutiny, only him.
What do they want?
Me.
Me.
Then they can have you.
Is that so?
You'll catch us anyway. There's nothing to be done.
I can think of something.
You wish us to sail into the storm?
It's our only chance.
I won't do it.
Then I will.
All right, all right.
Fear can be your best friend at important times.
We need those ropes secured! I told you this was madness.
Calm yourself. I'll fix your sail for you.
See? He knows how to secure ropes. Imagine all the rope there.
Loose the sails! Paint them! You take the foremast! James! To the mainmast with you!
Ooh. I don't like this height.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
$72 on the Atlantic Ocean. How many days does it take? Wait. I think Hytham was in the British Empire? And he's going to America on day 72. I think it's about 100 and something days it takes. I think, I'm not sure, because I can't be on a boat. I get way too much motion sickness. Oh, okay. Meet the captain at the bow. Bow, 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 bow.
Make ready for our arrival, men.
Okay.
Arrival? I see no land, only this interminable fog.
The gulls tell us all we need to know. Climb into the crow's nest and you'll see.
Okay, so only 72 days then. I don't know why I thought it was longer. Maybe because I've never been on a cruise or anything. Not that I will. No thanks. Cruises are for... no thank you. When I grew up in frickin' New South Wales, I couldn't even handle the ferry from Sydney to, I think it's Maine Beach. I couldn't even handle that trip. Assassin's Creed 3! I don't know if that's what Pirate says, but... Yay, full synchronization! I acquired 2,850 pounds. That E symbol next to the money is pounds. So he was from British. Okay. The British Empire. Sequence 2, Boston, 1754.
Master Kenway! Master Kenway!
Yes, may I help you?
Charles Lee, sir. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've been asked to introduce you to the city, help you settle in. Oh, no need, sir. I've arranged for your bags to be delivered to the inn.
Are you by any chance John and Isabella's son?
One and the same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
Aye. But he's yet to reach America, and I figured I might... Well, at least until he arrives. I thought...
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you.
Hello, sir.
If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Kind of you to say, but I think you overestimate me.
Impossible, sir. This way.
Thief! Someone stop him!
So, these men here British. As you can tell by the flags, America is currently under
There's all manner of things to see and do.
Once
you've settled in,
British rule.
Take some time to walk the streets. Who knows what
because that is the Union Jack,
Hold a moment.
which us Australians have that on our flag as well, because we are part of the Commonwealth. Oi! Don't go starting shit, Mr. Charles Lee! I'll beat you there. Fucking push the guards. How dare you? I just arrived and you're already trying to start shit.
Damn sprigs. This accursed city will be the death of me.
You seem troubled, friend.
That's because I am. Greatly so, in fact.
What's happened?
I was robbed. The old Balkan file. Though I've managed to restore what's mine, I fear it's ruined.
You mean the book?
This is no ordinary book. It's an almanac. The first I ever wrote. Benjamin Franklin. Pleased to meet you.
Haytham Kenway.
You must be new to Boston.
Why do you say that?
You're still possessed of virtue. To stop and help an old lout like myself. I don't mean to impose, but you seem a spry fellow. Should you happen to find my missing pages, I'll reward you.
Look, I'm not sure if I've...
It's all right. If you have the time, hurrah. If not, no harm done. The thing is useless in its current state anyway. But should you somehow manage to restore it, you'll find me inside that general store over there.
Well, that was interesting.
Apparently, Benjamin Franklin... Oh, hang on. No. Here we go. Benjamin Franklin, born 1706. Benjamin Franklin was a renowned inventor, diplomat, and one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Translation, he was a rock star of the age. Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston in 1706, the 10th son of a soap maker. 10 sons. I guess his parents couldn't afford a television. And also there was no television. He began working for his brother in 1718 as an apprentice printer. However, their relationship was rocky, particularly after the elder Franklin found out that the young Franklin had been writing for the paper under a pseudonym, Silence Dogood, and writing an extremely popular column at that. Human nature being what it is, the fact that the column was popular was probably the bigger problem. Benjamin ran away in 1723 and headed for Philadelphia, where he continued his career in printing and writing, eventually buying the Pennsylvania Gazette. The business, I mean, not just a copy. That would have been one of his lesser achievements. He stayed in Philadelphia for most of his life, that is, when he wasn't making extended trips to Europe. Franklin had a talent for persuasion, and that made him an ideal diplomat. In 1757, he went to London to represent Pennsylvania in an ongoing legal battle with the Penn family. It was the first of several extended political trips to Britain. He would act as a state representative for Massachusetts, Georgia, and New Jersey as well. In fact, Franklin was in Europe for most of the Revolution, though he was in the colonies to help with the writing of the Declaration of Independence. Franklin was a vocal opponent of British impositions on the colonies, like the Stamp Act. I have no idea what that means. And although he first fought for the rights of colonists as British citizens, he eventually became convinced, like many of the founding fathers, that independence was the only real solution. Unfortunately, Franklin's change of heart made him clash with his son, William, who served as the royal governor of New Jersey. William remained an active loyalist. The father and son never spoke again. When he wasn't founding a new nation and destroying his family in the process, Franklin was a scientist, inventing things like bifocals and more efficient wood stoves when he wasn't mapping the Gulf Stream and discovering how electricity worked. What have you done today? Made yourself a microwave meal and sat about in your underwear? Oh, well done, you! Ow! Ow! I didn't think I'd be getting fucking roasted by a game! He was also quite the lady killer. Jesus, this guy, carrying on several friendships with women while he was in Europe. The records don't say what exactly they saw in him, certainly not his looks. Maybe women like a man who's intelligent. If that was true, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Portugal surrounded by them, and you'd be looking at a blank screen. Oh, fucking Sean. I know that is Sean. Because he's the only one who does these documentations type things on characters you meet. Marcus, British regulars, Charles Lee. Charles Lee, born 1731. Charles Lee was a British soldier who went on to be a major figure in the Revolutionary War. Lee's father was a colonel in the British Army and started his son off in a military career early. He was sent to a military academy in Switzerland during his formative years, and then in 1746 Lee became an ensign in his father's regiment. Lee was sent to the colonies in 1755 to fight in the French and Indian War. He served under Edward Braddock, and then later at Fort Ticonderoga. I think that's how you say that. I'm going to be butchering so many words in this game like I did in fucking Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio's Collection. So I do apologize for that. Where he was injured in the fighting, Lee recovered and later fought at Fort Niagara. I'd always thought there were a lot of fort fights fought. Try saying that 5 times. He finished his time in the colonies with the British conquest of Montreal, which is in Canada. Lee returned to England in 1760, possibly because he was seeking career advancement. He was named a mayor in 1761 and was sent to fight the Spanish in Portugal. Though his service record there was good, Lee didn't receive praise on his return home. In fact, he was retired from the army at half pay. After that, Lee became a vocal critic of military higher-ups and the British Prime Minister, and found that his military career had inexplicably, I said that fucking wrong, I know the word, completely stalled. Lewis Mills. Lewis Mills is a deckhand originally from where we British somewhat optimistically called Sunny Brighton. He got his love of the sea from his father, who was also a sailor. He first took young Lewis to sea with him at the age of 10, sailing from London to Boston on a vessel named Windward. As he grew older, Mills kept working as a merchant marine, traveling the world and gaining a reputation as a reliable and level-headed sailor. He joined the crew of Providence in 1752, stayed with the captain and crew through a variety of hardships, though by 1755 he was thinking of moving on. Atlantic Ocean, the Providence Beggars Opera. Reginald, conveniently enough, also had the last name Birch. It seemed it was one of those hard-to-put-your-finger-on things that ran in the family. Birch started in business for himself at an early age. By the time he was in his mid-20s, he already owned several merchant ships, mainly dealing with the tea trade to the American colonies. That's pretty good going, seeing as by the time most people are in their mid-20s, they don't even own a shirt. What the fuck is with the roasting? Oh, seriously, what the fuck is with the roasting? I have him as part owner of the Providence, among others. Later in life, Birch also owned several businesses in and around London. He was a member of White's, which was a posh gentleman's club in London, and generally a well-known and respected man about town. From what I could tell, Birch met Hytham Kenway while working for his father, Edward. They were introduced at White's while Hytham was still quite young. Birch would eventually take over Hytham's education, tutoring him while on tour of Europe in the 1730s. From what we've seen in The Animus, it seems their friendship continued into adulthood, with them working together as members of the Assassins. Okay, I was correct. Hytham is an assassin. Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because I couldn't tell if Hytham was an assassin or a Templar because he didn't have the usual hood thing that assassins have, and he didn't have the assassin emblem on his back thingy-majiggy that he wears with his outfit. Okay, is that everyone? Yes, it is. Okay. I could have just gone to people. Oh! Oh! Ooh! Sean Hastings. Birth? Yeah, nice try. Sean Hastings is one of the few members of the Assassins who wasn't raised to join the Order. He was recruited as a teenager after his investigation into Abstergo Industries made him a target for the Templars. Oh, too far. Hastings has a gift for organization, and as such, the Assassins would be lost without him. With his talents for making connections between historical events, he's widely regarded as the most intelligent person in the Order. But by widely regarded as the most intelligent person in the Order, I mean he is the most intelligent person in the Order. You may think he's an arrogant bastard. I will admit, when I first met him in Assassin's Creed 2, I did think he was a fucking arrogant bastard. I will admit that. But he did grow on me. He has grown on me. But that's only because he's smarter than you and like a less than about a... let me restart that sentence again. And like a less than able teenage girl, you find yourself not yet secure enough to move past your inherent and powerful feelings of joyless jealousy and simply appreciate me for who I am. Oh, good. You're actually reading these. I was beginning to wonder if I was wasting my time because you know how much I love wasting my time. Now make me some tea, would you? Altair. Altair. Birth, 1165. Altair was born into the Assassin Brotherhood in the stronghold of Masyaf. His early life wasn't a happy one. His mother died during childbirth. Then, when he was a young boy, his father was killed during the first siege of Masyaf. Only shortly thereafter, the assassin he died to save committed suicide in front of an 11-year-old Altair. Yeah, we learned about that in Assassin's Creed Revelations. With his parents gone, Altair looked to Al-Mulamin, the then mentor of the Order, as a father figure. Al recognized Altair's potential and took on his training personally. Altair reached rank of Master Assassin by the age of 25, an unheard of accomplishment. If there was an assassin book of records, there'd probably be a picture of this fellow on the front. Altair was one of the best fighters in assassin history, with an arrogance to match. After a disastrous mission in 1191 in which he broke the creed and very nearly let an apple of Eden fall into the Templar hands, Altair was sent back down to novice rank and forced to begin again. Which I understand. Because if you have played Assassin's Creed 1, which is Altair's story, you will actually see the arrogance that he possessed. You could actually see it in the first sequence. I'm trying not to say many spoilers because, Assassin's Creed was very popular for its time, but not many people know of the first Assassin's Creed. Most of them started with Assassin's Creed 2 or 3, or in my case, what got me into Assassin's Creed was Black Flag. I didn't even know about the first game. As part of his rehabilitation, he was responsible for taking out the major players in the Templar Order at the time, including the Grand Master Robert D. Sable. Tragically, in the end, he was also forced to kill Al-Mulamin, who turned out to be both a Templar and corrupted by the influence of the apple. After his mentor's death, Altair took control of the Order, turning it into the secret and world-spanning organization it is today. One of the things that made Altair such a deadly assassin was something we now call eagle vision, a kind of sixth sense inherited from the first civilization. It allowed him to read his enemies and surroundings in a way that goes beyond what the human eye can see. Of course, you'll know more about it than me. I can't believe I just typed that. Oh my god, Sean. Because it's in your blood, and that's part of why you're here. Well, let's be honest. You knew you weren't here because of my enduring affection or my warm and passionate cuddles. What the fuck? Ezio Auditore. Ezio Auditore, birth 1459. Ezio Auditore da Firenze was a master assassin during the Italian Renaissance, as well as being an inheritor of the mysterious ability of eagle vision and one of your ancestors. Ezio was something of a playboy in his teenage years, but his life changed in 1476 when his father and brothers were arrested and executed for treason. Ezio tried to save them, but the evidence clearing their name mysteriously disappeared in the hands of a family friend. Instead, they were hanged as Ezio looked on. Ezio fled with his mother and sister to, I am going to fuck this up, Montoigione? I think that's how you say it, where he sought refuge with his uncle, Mario Auditore. While Ezio had originally intended to continue on and settle in Spain, Mario had other ideas. He was a leader of the Italian Assassin Brotherhood and spent the next several years training Ezio and convincing him to help fight the Templars responsible for the deaths of his father and brothers. Ezio spent the next decade assassinating his way through the Templar ranks, eventually cornering the Templar Grand Master Rodrigo Borgia in Venice in 1487. Borgia got away, but Ezio was able to recover an Apple of Eden and was formally introduced into the Assassin Order. After several setbacks over the next few years, Ezio traveled to Rome in 1499 to confront Rodrigo, who by then had become Pope Alexander VI. After defeating Rodrigo, but sparing his life, Ezio opened a hidden vault under the Sistine Chapel. There, he discovered a message left by the first civilization, warning of a catastrophe that would threaten to wipe out humanity. Yes, that would be the one we're facing right now. Over the next 20 or so years, Ezio worked at strengthening the Italian Assassin Brotherhood and fighting the Templars, which is sort of what we do. One of his greatest accomplishments would be discovering a hidden library belonging to Altair, hidden under the former assassin stronghold at Masyaf, and containing another message from the first civilization. He retired from the Brotherhood shortly thereafter, which is what we called ending on a high note. He was terrific at jumping too. Ezio died in Florence in 1524. That is everyone? Yep. So let's continue the game. Oh, after all that reading, I need some water. Hold R1 to open. Oh.
Dry goods, feed, salt, and other sundries available in bulk from clubs. The city's best prices, guaranteed.
Okay, let's continue on, shall we? We'll see. I get to ride a horse. We'll see.
We ride for the Green Dragon Tavern. The proprietors are eccentric, but the rooms are spacious and they do not pry.
Have you been told why it is I've come to Boston?
No, Master Birch said I should know only as much as you saw fit to share. He sent me a list of names and bade me ensure you could find them.
And have you had any luck with that?
Aye. William Johnson waits for us at the Green Dragon.
How well do you know him?
Not well, but he saw the order's mark and did not hesitate to come.
Prove yourself loyal to our cause. And you may yet know our plans as well.
I should like nothing more, sir.
One thing I do like about having the remastered Assassin's Creed 3 is it does come with the DLC and it comes with Liberation. So, once I finish, you know, Assassin's Creed 2, not 2, well, you're not playing Assassin's Creed 2, Freya, we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Once I finish Assassin's Creed 3, I will then be doing the DLC, and then I'll be doing Liberation. Because the DLC is part of Assassin's Creed 3's story.
You lying, cheating, no good son of a bitch.
Perhaps we've come at a bad time.
Oh, don't be foolish, dearies. Please, sit. Fancy something to eat? A drink, perhaps? Or is it a bed you require?
We've already let rooms here.
Oh, yes. Of course. Masters Lee and Kenway, was it? I'll have your bags brought up. Do you require anything further?
Only privacy.
This way! Sir, William Johnson.
A pleasure. A good lad, if a bit earnest. I'm told you're putting together an expedition.
We believe there's a precursor site in the region. I require your knowledge of the land and its people to find it.
Sadly, my research has been stolen. Without it, I'm of no use to you.
Then we'll find it. Do you have any leads?
My associate, Thomas Hickey, has been making the rounds. He's quite good at loosening tongues.
Well, tell me where I can find him. I'll see if I can't speed things up.
We've heard rumors of bandits operating from a compound southwest of here. You'll likely find him there.
Charles?
Sir.
We'd best be off.
Of course.
Do. Sorry about being silent. I am live on TikTok and I was just replying to some comments. Apparently I am very smart, which I don't think I am because I have a below average IQ, but I do get very passionate about certain topics like history, Vikings, ancient history, fucking love Norse mythology, ancient Egypt, ancient Greek, ancient Rome. So, yeah. When do we do synchronization? I want to do a synchronization.
Thomas Hickey?
Who's asking?
Haytham Kenway.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Show some respect, boy.
Peace, Charles. William Johnson sent us in the hopes we might expedite your search.
Don't need no expediting. Don't need none of your fancy London speak neither. I found the men that done the theft.
Then why are you just lazing around?
Figuring out how to deal with those varlets.
I have an idea.
Well, let's hear it.
I'll kill the lookout, take up a position behind the guards. You two approach from the front. When I open fire on the group, you charge in. We'll have the element of surprise on our side. Half will fall before they've even realized what's happened.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Get into position. But wait for me to take the first shot.
Frickin' hate using the guns. Come.
Go on now. before you make us mad.
Oops. Oh well, we're reloading our gun anyway.
Go on now, before you make
Okay.
us mad.
You two, clear off.
Ooh. Yeah. Hatcha. Headshot, headshot. Banana. Oh fuck, reload first, come on. Reload, reload, reload. Headshot.
For the element of surprise. And you won't have to reload.
Oh, you didn't like getting taken down?
Fall back! Fall back! We'll be safe inside! What now? We can blow the door with those. Go on, shoot them. On with the show then. Guess they wasn't so safe inside after all.
Lay down your weapons, and I'll consider letting you live.
I make you the same offer. We've no quarrel. I only wish to return this chest to its rightful owner.
Nothing right.
Sorry, I was muted again.
I won't ask again.
Agreed.
Come on. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Your kind has no need for books and maps. Who put you up to this?
Never seen a person. It's always been dead drops and letters. But they always pay, so we do the jobs.
Well, those days are done. Tell your masters I said as much.
Who should I say you are?
You don't? They'll know.
Atham, this one's got some shot on him. You might want to be grabbing it on account of your pistol being parched. Back to the Green Dragon then. I need a drink.
Yeah, well, I can't loot anymore. Oh, I can. No, I can't. Oh, I can. Yeah.
Don't let go of the chest, Charles. We'll take care of this rabble.
I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Boom. Oh, fuck you. Fucking hate these. Dish. Dish. Bye-bye. You're dead. So are you. Because I was busy looting bodies.
Sure to have loot on them. Would be a shame to let it all go to waste.
That's what I'm doing.
In case you've forgotten, we're in the midst of something.
Aw, why have you always got to go and spore the sport?
The looting is a whole lot faster in this game than what it was in Assassin's Creed 2, I will admit that. What? Okay.
Whatever's in this chest is worth it.
Come on now. It's just a few fools with knives. They ain't so tough.
It's not the scoundrels I'm concerned with.
Red dots on the map, which means we're coming up to more enemies. Want that? What? Oh, I'm getting shot at. Hurry up! Reload. The music is fucking awesome! Okay, closer. There we go. Come on.
That seems to be the last of them.
There we go. Done! You guys can come out now! Hello? Hello?
Mr. Johnson's gonna need to double my pay after all this if he expects me to keep at his side.
There you are.
My thanks, Master Kenway. Now, tell me what it is you need.
The images on this amulet, are they familiar to you? Perhaps one of the tribes has shown you something similar.
It appears Kanyan Gahaga in origin.
Can you trace it to a specific location? I need to know where it came from.
With my research returned, perhaps. Let me see what I can do. Thomas,
What?
Rent yourself a room. And a bath as well. I suspect we'll be here for a while.
Where is your accent from? They have so many books. There you go. It's added. I slept for 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's not bad. Hang on. Options. Duh. Okay. People. Individuals. William Johnson. Born 1715. William Johnson was a land speculator. My brain had trouble with that. And Britain's principal treaty negotiator with the indigenous people in the northern part of the colonies, particularly the Iroquois. Johnson was born in Ireland. So your accent is Irish. Okay. But moved to the colonies in 1738 to look after his uncle's property on the Mohawk River. However, it wasn't long before Johnson branched out into business for himself, acquiring property on the opposite side of the river and setting up a sawmill and trading post, which he named Mount Johnson. Which to me always sounds like mating instructions from a caveman. In 1743, he moved to an even larger parcel of land, which he named Fort Johnson. He may have been an excellent businessman, but it's possible he lacked an imagination. Johnson befriended the indigenous people in the area, particularly the Kainai. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that second word. I am sorry. I'm going to butcher that the fuck up. Whose language he learned. His respect for their customs helped him rise to prominence as liaison between the Iroquois people and the British government. Johnson was named Superintendent of Indian Affairs in 1756. As a contact who knows the land and his people, he's probably the best you'll find. Thomas Hickey. Birth unknown. Thomas Hickey was an Irish-born member of the British Army. He arrived in Boston in 1752, but it wasn't long before he was assigned to William Johnson's personal guard. Apparently at Johnson's request, probably because their families were connected in Ireland, or maybe he found the name Hickey funny. The record isn't clear. Hickey served under Johnson during the French and Indian War, but then he left the army after being written up several times for disorderly conduct. After 1760, Hickey disappears from the historical record for several years. I do, however, have several mentions in William Johnson's household accounts of payments made to T.H. It's possible Hickey was working for him as a spy. If so, he should really have developed some tougher codes to crack. Well, yeah. And that's everyone. Start mission.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Charming.
Oh, peace, Charles. He'll grow on you.
Oi! Catherine, you fussock! Get back here! Taddy needs a drink.
How fares the search?
Maths and maps are not cutting it.
What of your local contacts?
We'll need to earn their trust before they'll share what they know.
I've an idea on how we might be affecting that. There's a man who's taken to enslaving natives. Rescue them, and they'll owe us.
Do you know where they're being held?
Afraid not.
Benjamin Churchwill. He's a finder and a fixer. He's also on your list.
And there I was, wondering whom I might solicit next. Well done.
This house was built in 1707 by a prominent local merchant named Robert Califf. Benjamin Churchill bought it from his heirs to use it as a Boston residence. Church practice is on Newbury Street, a fairly short walk, so the house was in an ideal location. It's also in a nice part of town. Even in colonial Boston, two-story houses with fenced-in gardens don't come cheap. And they don't even get cable. What is with the fucking roasting? Actually, given the location, it seems that Church's practice was doing very well indeed. That, or he had another source of revenue. What is with the roasting? Oh. The tavern is sometimes called the headquarters of the revolution, though I imagine when it is, they pronounce it headquarters of the revolution. Yeah, because overthrowing the government in a pub is thirsty work. It was a popular place for people like Paul Revere and Samuel Adams to sit with their friends and plot. Up until 1754, the tavern was owned by William Douglas. When he died, his property was left to his daughter, Catherine Kerr, and his nephew, Cornelius Douglas. They divided their inheritance equally and it seems got along famously. The Freemasons bought the tavern in 1766 and renamed it the Freemasons' Arms, which didn't actually stick because the sign above the door was still the Green Dragon. Freemasons, a secret society everyone knows about. Let's get a pub where we can meet in complete secret and no one will ever know. Brilliant! What shall we call it? How about the Freemasons' Arms? Yeah, it's so much more a big secret if you got to fucking name it Freemasons' Arms. Legend has it that Paul Revere's ride was planned here, but that's unlikely. By 1774, Revere had been warned that the British were listening in on his meetings and had therefore stopped making super-secret plans in public where anyone could hear them. Someone tell the Masons, you know where to find them. Oh my god, Sean! What is with the fucking roasting? Seriously, I know you're doing all these documents, but what the fuck is with all the roasting you are doing in them? Don't let the French spelling confuse you. The name of this building is pronounced Fenul or Fennel. Getting it wrong is a good way to indicate you're not from around here, but it's also a great way of proving you're not French, which in my experience is a real boon. Also, if you want to pass as a local, you should take a good look at the weather vane. It's a Boston landmark. Legend has it that in the War of 1812, suspected spies were asked what was on top of the funnel hall. Only a true local would be able to say it was a grasshopper. The building was named after Peter Faneuil, the local merchant who paid to build it. It was meant as a place for local farmers to sell their goods so their carts would stop crowding the streets, and also so you didn't have to walk near farmers. However, it's the meeting hall on the second floor which gave the building its nickname, the Cradle of Liberty. That's rather ostensious and, dare I say, American as a nickname, but it's not inaccurate. People met here to protest the Stamp Act. The first anti-tea tax meetings were also held here. Anti-British meetings occasionally drew crowds so large the building couldn't even hold them, at which point they all went to the Old South Meeting Hall. During the Siege of Boston, the meeting hall here was made over into a theatre. Since plays of any kind were banned in Boston under ordinary circumstances, such, I think, should still be a law. Actually, this is yet another example of the British loyalists sticking it to the rebels. Of course, crossing the Atlantic today is as easy as a plane ride, but it was much more difficult in colonial times. Even though I imagine the tiny food and cramped conditions and likelihood of sitting next to a fat man for many hours were pretty much the same. For European travelers, it was at best a 6-week voyage, but depending on delays, it could last months. Dangers including storms and their opposites being becalmed. Seasickness, food running short, and dying of boredom because you had nothing to do all day. For African captured into slavery, the Atlantic voyage was much worse. Across the Middle Passage, usually to the Caribbean, the journey was just as long, but slaves were kept below decks and rarely allowed out in the fresh air, when, with the men usually in shackles, they were given only one meal a day. Less if provisions ran low. Diseases were rampant and mortality rates were high. I will never complain about being inappropriately touched by airport security again, though to be fair, we're now firm friends, and Juan was very gentle. That is... I mean, I get this is... Oh, groups. British regulars. Before I read this, I mean, this is back in the Revolution times. The Revolutionary War. You know, where it was natives versus, like, the natives, the first people who were there in Britain, versus the people who are trying to conquest. Oh no, this is in America. My bad. Native Indians and the soldiers, the British soldiers. This is the Revolutionary War. You know, this is where it was Native Indians and the soldiers constantly fighting. Constantly, you know, trying to take over natives' lands and conquest them and conquer them. So slavery was a big thing back then, and so were colonies. And, you know, being in shackles and in a cage and for days on end. I mean, they wouldn't know when they were allowed out, you know. They had no idea when they were allowed out of their cage. I mean, having one meal a day on a long-ass boat ride? That is horrible. That is honestly horrible. I mean, like I've said, I'm a history buff. And yes, people have gone through this. Our ancestors caused this. You know, I mean, it's still happening today. It is still happening today with the conquering and the conquest and all that shit. It is still happening to this day. But it's under the guise of the government doing what the government thinks they should be doing for their country, when in fact The government should fuck off and leave other countries alone. Like, for example, and I know I'm going to get a lot of fucking hate for this, but I don't care. Like, for example, Donald Trump trying to make Canada the 51st state of fucking America. No, mate. You go back and sit in fucking America and leave the Canadians alone. Don't try and fucking make Canada part of America. That's not going to happen. The Canadians are not going to let that fucking happen. British regulars were the foot soldiers of the British Army. You also hear them referred to... The fuck is that word? Devilishly as redcoats. Because of these redcoats they wear as part of their uniform, I bet you didn't see that coming, or lobster backs. Because of their huge, deadly pincers, or still because of the redcoat thing, I can't remember which. Regulars in the colonies were notoriously underpaid, and many looked for work outside of their army duties to make ends meet. Of course, their room and board was paid by the government, meaning they could charge lower than average rates for their work. Since employment was high in Boston before the Revolution, you can imagine this made the redcoats rather unpopular among people they were taking work from. That and their huge, deadly pincers.
Wonderful. Charles? Sir? Seems like we're not the only ones looking for Mr. Church.
Damn it, he could be anywhere. What do we do?
We find him. Come. I'll show you how.
Should we write his family, do you think?
Not our business to meddle, even if we've the best of intentions.
But if you could have seen it, they were surely drunk carrying on like that, and during the day, no less.
The Boston Weekly Advertiser! A penny well spent!
Scandalous behavior from one who aims to be a surgeon. Not likely if he keeps up such carousing.
Truly a shameful display. Benjamin's parents would be mortified.
Perhaps I should send someone to retrieve him before he damages his reputation beyond repair.
They stumbled off to the northeast, no doubt in search of a tavern or some other place of ill repute.
Start questioning those on the street. I'm headed for higher ground.
Do a doggy. Do it. Can I pat the dog? No. Oh, I wanted to pet the doggy. Wait. Oh, that's right.
I'm looking for Mr.
It feels so good to be on the roofs again. But when did I do synchronizations? Does synchronizations even happen in this game? Lose health. Yep, knew that was gonna happen. Wait. Hang on. Oh, we might be doing a synchronization, people. We might be doing a synchronization. Fucking love synchronizations. I want to get diamond paintings of the synchronizations in Assassin's Creed games because the views are immaculate. We are. Ah! Synchronization. Synchronize! How are you standing like that?
Time to take a listen. With luck, one of those people knows what became of Benjamin.
I wish we could pet the dogs.
The area's definitely suffered a decline in character.
Indeed. All manner of Arifs and natty lads now walk the streets. Why, just earlier today I had a run-in with some.
Do tell.
It was down by the church. A group of men comes rushing through when one of them suddenly falls to the ground, all torn up. I thought about going to see if he needed help, but a look from one of them changed my mind.
Probably for the best. Those aren't the sort of people you want to get mixed up with.
Analyze clues, reduces location zone. Interesting.
I've asked the criers, but they all plead ignorance.
Bugger that! They're lying!
Aye. Well, what can I do? Threats light off them and I'll not deign to grovel.
Actions speak louder than words, my friend. Arrest one and put him in stocks. See if he's so glib then.
To do so without cause will set them singing songs about us. Last thing the city needs is town criers complaining about our abuse of authority.
And forget it. The crime is done. The killer's gone. Those who know won't share their secrets. If the city wishes to harbor scoundrels, let them pay the price for it.
For the sturdiest and most seamless
Now we can do synchronizations. I'm so happy. How are you standing like that? My balance wouldn't. My balance couldn't. Hey.
I asked if I could help, and they waved me away. Insisted it was all under control.
How odd. Did they say what had happened?
No. Only that it was a trifling matter, and he'd be returned home soon. There was some blood, though, so I wonder if it wasn't more serious than they let on.
Where were they taking him?
Towards the hilltop. Perhaps there's a doctor at the fort.
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you are raised in the manner that I was. Perception is fundamental to the Order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting. But most important, it transforms the senses.
and we begin to know the world in a different way.
Oh, I want to pet the dog. Like how in Valhalla, you can pet cats, I think. Or is it dogs you can pet? Not really sure which one you can pet, but you can pet one of them. Your stomach, I'll be making food soon. Oh, this is one where we cannot be detected. Fuck! I hate the do not be detected ones.
If your joints excruciate, ears sanguinate, or feet distend and tumefy, you have but one new and miraculous
Careful.
ointment to turn to.
The place is well guarded. We need to slip past them.
Okay. Oh. No. You didn't see anything, my friends. Yeah, we'll have to go the other way. Ba-ba-da-da. Okay. So I don't have to fully remain undetected. There we go. Yeah, hang on. Fuck!
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you are raised in the manner that I was. Perception is fundamental to the Order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting. But most important, it transforms the senses, and we begin to know the world in a different way. Careful. The place is well guarded.
Press
Need to
O
slip
while
past them.
targeting a hiding spot to tell. Oh! Wait. I'm gonna do something different. I don't know if he'll be able to climb up. He is good. Thank you. Ah. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Oh. I don't know why I didn't think of this when I first did it. Okay, any guards near? Two are facing that way. Two are facing that way, cool.
Locked. I'll have to find the key. Wait here.
Okay. So it's easy to do it with just me. Oh, in the water you goes!
Here we are then.
Why must you always make these things so difficult, Benjamin? Merely provide me with recompense, and all shall be forgiven.
I'll not pay for protection I don't need.
Clearly, you do require protection. Else we wouldn't be here. How very gauche. Now, what shall we do about our guest?
Maybe I'll take his hands. Put an end to his surgery. Maybe I'll take his tongue. Put an end to his waggling. Or maybe I'll take his cock. Put an end to his fucking us.
So many options. I can't possibly decide. Take all three.
Now, hold a moment. Perhaps I was hasty in refusing you earlier.
I'm so very sorry, Benjamin. But that door has closed.
Be reasonable, Silas.
I rather think I was. But you took advantage of my generosity. I won't be made a fool a second time. I fear I lack the constitution to bear witness to such barbarism. Come find me when you're finished, Cutter.
You'll regret this, Silas, do you hear me? I'll have your head!
No. I rather think you won't.
Quick little swipe and no more is. How's that sound, Mr. Church?
At least I'll be spared more to remain proud.
A little bit from here, a little bit from there. Make myself a nice keepsake, I will.
You're absolutely mad.
Just like all good artists. Hold still a minute. I gotta decide where to start.
Your parents must be so very proud to have raised a specimen like yourself.
Quiet now. I need to concentrate on me work to ensure that doesn't happen. Just a quick little swipe and no more is. How's that sound, Mr. Church?
At least I'll be spared more of your inane prattle. Your parents must be so very proud to have raised
Wait, do I just...
like yourself.
Quiet now. I need to concentrate on me work.
Oi! Over here, you bastards! Come on! Have at me!
What? Remain undetected. How was I supposed to remain undetected with that? Oh, I could have sneaked up behind them and assassinated.
Who are you?
Hatham Kenway, at your service.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
Walk with me, Mr. Church, and all will be explained.
Assholes.
Johnson's told me what you intend. As it happens, the man who held me is the same one that you seek. His name is Silas Thatcher.
That fancy lad is our slaver?
Don't let his velvet tongue deceive you. A crueler and more vicious creature I've never known.
What can you tell me of his operation?
He hosts at least 100 men, more than half of whom are redcoats.
All this for some slaves?
Hardly. The man's a commander in the King's troop, in charge of the Southgate Fort.
We need to find a way inside. Let me think on it. In the meantime, I'll attend to our final recruit.
John Pitcairn's our man. I'll take you to him.
Oh, we'll do this and then I'm gonna end the stream.
State your business.
New recruit.
More kindling for the pyre, eh? Well, go on then.
How'd you manage that?
Did you forget, sir? My commission is with General Bradley. When I'm not attending to you, of course.
Hang on. Benjamin Church, born 1734. Benjamin Church was a talented physician and essentially the first Surgeon General of the U.S. Army. Church was born in Rhode Island and graduated from Harvard University in 1754. So you're meeting him just out of college. He'll be appointed head of the medical wing of the Continental Army in 1775. But for God's sake, don't tell him, it'll go straight to his head. Church goes on to become a vocal patriot, which makes him sound like a member of a weird barbershop quartet. But he was a member of the Sons of Liberty and his local committee of correspondence. He'll even speak at the 3rd anniversary of the Boston Massacre. He also got a house in a very nice part of town. Being a doctor must pay well. John Pitcairn, born 1722. In 1754, John Pitcairn was a young captain in the British Marine Corps. He fought in the French and Indian War, but can't find much about his postings. He's listed as being on the HMS Lancaster during the capture of Louisbourg. That's in Canada. No record of him being on the American side of the colonies, but it seems he did some covert work as well. That would explain the lack of details. Pitcairn was promoted to major in 1771, and he gained a reputation for being well-liked by his subordinates and praised by his enemies. That's a difficult trick to pull off. Maybe he had a lovely smile. Hang on. There's another person. Silas Thatcher. Born 1720. Silas Thatcher was the nephew of a well-to-do London merchant who purchased a commission for him in the British regulars when he was quite young. He was sent to the colonies in 1750, poor man, where he was posted at the defence along Boston Neck. You won't be surprised to learn that Thatcher had a mean streak few men wanted to serve under him, which might be what led to him being posted in Boston in the first place. Living in the colonies was regarded as something akin to exile at the time. Come to think of it, not much has changed. Men who advised under Thatcher's command were noted for their cruelty, like his personal assistant, Cutter, which, even though you might have guessed, is a nickname, meaning one who likes to cut things, preferably people. Not what I looked for in a PA, but there you go. At the time, pay in the army was notoriously bad, and soldiers would often pick up odd jobs in their spare hours to make ends meet. This made them rather unpopular in Boston, where unemployment was rather high. However, Thatcher found something he enjoyed much more, demanding protection money from merchants in Boston. Not only that, but he dabbled in theft, fencing stolen goods, and slave trade, a real Renaissance man, capturing the local indigenous people and selling them off to the highest bidder, which is what he was doing when Hytham found him. That makes me sick. Honestly, that does.
Pitcairn, you fool! Your acts are treacherous. Give me one good reason I shouldn't kill you right now. Were you planning to announce yourself, or did you hope my men wouldn't notice your arrival?
If you'll allow me to explain.
By all means. I should like very much to hear this.
I have not deserted, sir. I am here under Commander Amherst's orders.
Show me a letter bearing his seal, and you might be spared the gallows.
I have no such thing. The nature of my work, sir,
It's the sort of thing best not put to paper.
Haytham.
General Braddock?
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Wolves often travel in packs.
Master Pitcairn won't be here for but a few weeks. I shall return him to his proper post once our work is finished.
The devil's work, no doubt. It's bad enough my superiors have insisted I grant you use of Charles. But they said nothing about this traitor. You'll not have him.
Edward, listen to reason.
We're done here. See these gentlemen out.
Well, that didn't go as I expected.
And to think I used to call him brother.
What now? They'll chase us off if we try and return.
We're done with this camp.
To distract Braddock's patrol and lure them into a dead end.
To Jesus Christ, a former celebrity carpenter. This is where, on the night of Paul Revere's ride, two signal lanterns appeared to warn rebels on the opposite shore that the British regulars were on their way to seize weapons. The signal was Paul Revere's idea, but contrary to popular belief, the lamps weren't a signal sent to Revere. They were meant to warn lookouts on the opposite shore in case Revere was captured. This church was a natural choice for a signal flame. It was the highest steeple in Boston and easily seen from the other side of the river. Even better, the church was Anglican. The congregation was full of wealthy loyalists who would suspect the church sexton, Robert Newman, a friend of Riveur's, of sneaking into the church at night to send secret messages. Well, the British would, actually. They captured Newman a few days later and questioned him. He put on a terrific show and managed to convince them he was innocent, and then fled town, which didn't really back up the whole innocent thing very well at all. No, it didn't.
Rockstone Marlborough? No. More of Lynn or Ship Street?
Yes. Those fresh arrived are often soon in dire straits. They're more likely to seize upon an opportunity to fatten their purses and...
The esteemed craftsman Peter Witzel has contracted a demonstration of his latest looms at Walker and Associates. Morrow and Thursday.
Now!
With the Mohawk tribe.
Oi! You thieves and scoundrels, one and all! Fie on you and your false war! After him!
Unhand him, Edward.
You again.
Let us go. And John Pitcairn with us.
I will not have my authority challenged.
Nor I.
Put them all in chains.
Stay my hand today because you were once my brother, and a better man than this. But should our paths ever cross again, all debts will be forgotten. You're free now, John.
Traitor! Go on then! Join them on their fool's errand. And when you find yourself lying
I assume
broken
you've good reason for causing all this madness. What is it you require of me?
I'll explain everything on the way.
Okay. I am going to end it here. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye.